It's dangerous. It's devious. Y'all already know what it is. This is a very simple arcade game from the 80s, ported to the NES after the Atari 7800 port kind of bombed because the Atari 7800 console kind of bombed. It wasn't necessarily a bad console, but it bombed. So they decided, you know what, let's release this on the newfangled Nintendo Entertainment System that's going to be better than nothing. Let's play it! It's a really simple game. We should be able to beat it with no problem, right? Very simple game. The music is okay, but the problem is it just loops endlessly, these simple notes. You have a front-forward attack, and then you've got an attack that drops bombs on lower targets. So you can drop bombs down there. That's how this whole thing works. You gotta balance between shooting what's ahead of you, and not getting shot, as well as shooting at things below you, which will also shoot at you. So, it's very simple, as I said, but we'll figure out just how easy it is. And a lot of games that I grew up playing myself were very much inspired by this, like Raptor Call of the Shadows. Demon Star had a lot of inspiration from this. A lot of PC games drew a lot of inspiration from this game. This is a classic arcade game, I think, although it is not as well talked about. It's not as well favored, and I totally just ate a projectile from an enemy. You should not want to do that. You should not want to eat projectiles that come from enemies. Just as a word of advice, I got a game over already. But I was also adjusting the volume of the television set. So let's take that with an ounce of forgiveness, if you will. And now we'll play it for real. No more messing around. I got everything set the way it should be. The world is as it needs to be right now. It's time to play Xevious and get serious. I love that intro tune. It's so cheesy and ridiculous, but I love it. It gets me in the mood to shoot up random shapes that I'm supposed to pass off as spaceships. I mean, I'm shooting at little metallic discs just floating around. Those are supposed to be spaceships. They are so lazily drawn. Most of this game is so lazily drawn, but it's charming and I love it. I can't not love it. It just pulls you in. It's like, yeah, there's not a whole lot here, but believe me, we're going to give you some challenge. You might not think it right now, but we're going to give you some challenge. We're going to show you challenge like you ain't never seen. At least as far as when this game came out. There were way more challenging games that come after this, but just roll with it, man. Just roll with it. Or just die, like I just did. Not exactly in space, but this definitely doesn't feel like Earth, and I've got all kinds of ships flying all around that I'm shooting down. It definitely is supposed to be a different planet. That's the idea. I don't have the original manual, and I never really read the original Atari 7800 manual that would have come with the original cartridge that came out on home systems. So I don't know what the story is supposed to be, but the story that just happened is the fact that I just got hit again, and I don't have any more lives left. Oh, you in your pants! Ah! Ewan McGregor will slap you in your sleep. This is the type of game I could play for just hours on end, seeing how far you can get. Because that was what a lot of these early arcade games were based off of. How far can you get? Again, it was mainly intended to eat your quarters and everything. But there's just a charm to it. And your friends huddling around an arcade cabinet, seeing how far you can get. And this game was in the arcades before coming to your home consoles to give you a beating you'll never forget. I like this game a lot, but sometimes a projectile can come at you out of nowhere. Not necessarily out of nowhere, but it's like when you're not ready for it, and it just kind of ruins your day. But I can't stop. I can't put the controller down. There's something about the tightness of the control. The control is super tight, and the hit boxes on these enemies are just really tight. It's just so tight. But yeah, I could sit here and have a blast. There have been times where I've left Xevious in the cartridge slot of my Nintendo and just randomly just jumped into it after work or before work or just, anytime it just felt right to get dangerous or devious. They really tried to sell people on that little slogan. It's so absurd. It's dangerous, it's devious, it's Xevious, baby. They really tried to push that. I'll give them a pass because it was the mid-'80s. Mid to late 80s. Where that was the thing. Just like getting slapped with a random flying piece of metal, I guess, in the sky. What are those even supposed to be? You go through the game to a certain point, and one of the most defining and iconic things about this game, and it's a very iconic game, I believe, that is a little bit underrated, but there is something that shows up. It is very much associated with Xevious itself, and that is those flying panels that just flip around in the middle of the air. What is that even supposed to be? You can understand that most of the rest of this stuff is spaceships. How did I just die? It's way too early in the game to be losing lives, but let's roll with it, man. It's about having fun. It's about playing a game. It's about having a good time. And it's also about having your butt kicked a million ways from Sunday. And then you go to church on Sunday and you confess, Father, forgive me, for I did not get very far in Xevious because I kept dying. There's a 2-player mode, but like many 2-player modes, it only means the other person gets a turn. Like one person dies and then the other person, like 2 people playing the game, each have their own set of lives, usually about 3 or maybe 5, if there are settings involved. And then each player has those amount of lives. That's it. So it's like one player dies, the other player plays on their set of lives. But man, this game gets tricky. It gets really tricky with the amount of particles it throws at you. And I just now realized I haven't even fought the first boss yet. That's how many times I've taken damage. And it's another one of those where you take 1 damage, you lose a life. There's no health bar here. Which is kind of annoying, but it makes sense given the game. If you did have a health bar, it would make the game too easy. It would not be to the true vision of what made this game what the developers wanted it to be. Taking 1 damage was what this whole game was based entirely around. So you just really got to be careful. Oh, you mother of pain! Why did you hit me when you knew I could not move around? See? You can't hit those flappy things. I don't even know what those are supposed to be. Or are they just metal panels just delicately floating around? I know the purpose is the fact that it blocks the bullets. I get that. And there are certain moments where that actually comes into play and makes a pretty interesting dynamic as far as what gameplay is concerned. But otherwise, it's just flat out needless to me. It's just annoying. But it's part of what makes Xevious. And I like Xevious a lot. Even if I've never gotten that far, I kind of have to bust myself just to get past the first boss. You'll find out here soon enough. I'm coming up on him before long. The first boss is a little bit tough. Admittedly, it's depressing to admit. Please don't. Oh, did you really have to do that? Was it because I was recording a video? It was because I was recording a video, wasn't it? I'm tempted to put the controller down right now. But you know what? I'm not going to. There's something about this, and a lot of it has to do with the really, really tight responsive control, the fact that you have a targeting reticule, and the fact that the control is so responsive, and the hitboxes are just so tight. You never feel like the game cheats you. Except for some of the projectiles it might send your way, and you may not be able to dodge it at a certain amount of time. But you feel like if you foul up, it is your fault. And that is a classic, especially arcade type of situation. If you foul up, it's your fault. And so you constantly want to improve. You constantly want to get better. Going back to what I said before, these older games had consequences, and they trained you on how to think to a small degree. They were a reflection of the culture at the time. Okay, you need to accomplish a certain goal. Well, you need to work harder at accomplishing said goal. And that's what's so brilliant about waffles. What was I talking about? The graphics are really simple, but they definitely serve their purpose. Like, I don't see any problems. I mean, a lot of people want to talk about the artistic aspect of graphics, but I mean, they tend to forget the original focus of graphics, which is to tell the user, this is what a certain object is, and this is what you're supposed to do. I can clearly see that there are objects coming towards me that I need to shoot, and that there are objects below me that I should shoot for extra points, or because they are shooting at me as well. There's a combination of those right here in this section, and I just stop. You're just raining projectiles on me, and you're trying to make me cry. What are those gear things? I never saw those gear things before. Just when I thought I knew a game. I can just leave this in my... I can just, leave it in my, Nintendo for, ever. And, okay, I lost. That's cool, man. I'll just keep playing it until I get better. Or I might just not play it at all, you know? That's just kind of how... It's kind of the vibe I'm getting, man. This classic arcade game going on, man. You know what I'm saying? I like to hear the bullets bounce off of those, whatever they are, panels, whatever that... I don't even know what they're... That still doesn't make any sense, but it don't matter. It's still satisfying to hear. I don't know why. It amuses me. Metal plates. Yeah. Metal plates in the sky, and you're shooting them, and that doesn't do any good. You can't destroy them. That adds to the charm for me. I can't explain why. I wish I could. I can't explain a lot of things. I'm in Zen right now. I can seriously play this game until the end of time. Xevious. Must play Xevious. I play a game. Yeah. I'm playing again. Yeah, I'm playing Xevious. Yeah. I haven't even beaten the first stage. I did before, but I didn't yet. Why did I not beat this stage yet? Xevious is my best friend. I die and it doesn't frustrate me. It encourages me to become stronger and more clever. I must become good enough to complete Xevious. My brain made me do it. Okay. Whoa! I just kind of woke up from about. Whoa! Am I playing Xevious right now? Was I sleepwalking? Was I sleep playing this game? What is going on here? I don't know. I gotta say, although this is fun. This is fun. I'm not gonna knock it. I guess I'll just keep playing it. I'm a little freaked out though. That did not sound healthy. I used to get so much further in this game. I guess I just dropped off the... I just fell off the bandwagon. I just fell off the horse. Need to get back on the horse. Back on the Xevious horse. The horse of Xevious. I'm going to sip the drink of Xevious. I paused the game to drink the drink. The drink of Xevious. You can't go wrong with cream soda, just like how you can't go wrong with Xevious. It's so simple, it's so classic. Like smooth jazz. I am enjoying this very much. Even if I don't win. I feel like I am one with the universe. Or at least one with those who are not very good at Xevious, but love it anyway. Which is about the same thing. I should be asleep right now, but I'm playing Xevious. I should be doing probably anything except for playing Xevious right now, but I'm playing Xevious because it's... Okay, I got this. I'm a strong, independent person. Ooh! I'm a little worried about the boss, but I can't let that... I can't let that affect my performance right now. We got too much riding. It's the farthest I've gotten in a while. At least in this playthrough. I used to get much further than this. That still amuses me. Dink. Oh! That little thing in the center was the boss. That little thing. That was the boss. I just got out of a cold shower. Let me tell you something. Friends don't let friends do Xevious, okay? Don't play this game. Yeah, it's fun for a while, but friends don't let friends do Xevious, okay? Okay, but I'm